And I want to congrats with you because you stay with us almost all the time. So you are a
Yeah,
Highlander. Thank
I
you.
tried. It's been great. I've really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to the last few hours. So,
Yeah, yeah. And
grazie
please
mille.
stay. Grazie mille, grazie a te di cuore, and stay with us for the last hour because there are some surprises for all of you. So,
Oh, thanks.
okay.
Bye bye.
Thank you very much. Bye. See you soon. I hope. Bye. Ciao.
Bye bye.
Me lo sblocchi. Okay, now is a. Thank you, Richard, again. Really amazing. Very, very, very wow. Interesting. And now is a tough moment because I'm happy to introduce one of the craziest person I ever met in my life. I think I saw his act almost 50 times, and any times I smile and laugh again and again and again. And so I am really time for Otto, right? It's time for Otto, so we are all waiting to have Otto on the other side. So from chatting and insulting to talking. Otto, so show us the double lift. Jordan Gomez asked. So do you want that I say something about Otto? Okay, Otto is born in Austria, living in Paris. Otto Vesi is performing all over the world and has been working for the last 30 years at the Crazy Horse in Paris, from where he got fired already 4 times. He works together with his amazing wife, Krista, the queen of the night in Paris. And description, the art of getting fired from a job. That is the title of the lecture. And coming back again. Handling of case, La Ferriette des Animaux. So what else? Please welcome with a big round of applause to Mr. Otto Besley. Yeah, ciao Otto, my friend.
Can I roll around it? Can I say something?
You can.
My English is not so. My English is not so good. That's why.
Excuse me, my English is not so good. That's why I do this to heat up the audience. Can you see the stick in my hand? Maybe I should go a little down. Can you see it?
Yes, we can.
Yes. I got this.
Yes.
49 years ago from Gaetan. He built it for me. And I would like to show you, that's why I showed you my oldest gags. I've done them since 71. And they bring me luck because since 50 years, I was never out of business. Or I see myself, okay, so nice, more control. I was never out of business. And you know, in the good old times when I was young, we collected money for the old magicians. And now I'm old, we're collecting money for the young magicians. There's something different. Okay, these two gags which I have done, I've done it for a long time. They bring me luck. They're not so funny anymore. But if I let them die, this will be very sad. And in 50 years of show business, I must tell you, I'm the most fired act in the show business. But one thing, I always went back for the people that fired me. And I will give you later on, at the end of the lecture, if you're still here, I will give you some advice, some rules. It's called how the art of getting fired. The Crazy Horse fired me 3 times. The Hilton in Las Vegas fired me only once, but after 3 months they came back, and many other things. The only persons that did not take me back, this was the clubs which went bankrupt, or when the boss suicided. So then there was an excuse. And I will give you now, what I wanted to say, I don't have lecture notes. I don't sell lecture notes because here I have the lecture notes from the last 40 years. Red Caps, Conference from another magician. Here's Gaetan Blum, 86. Juan Tamariz, I don't know what it is. Nicholas Knight, Alpha, all these lecture notes. I have them, but there's one thing. Oh, Tom Sony, my good old friend, Tom Sony, he's here. And lecture notes, Geoffrey Buckingham, I got it in the 50s. And from these many lecture notes, I'm proud to tell you I didn't read a single one. So that's why I don't send you lecture notes. You will never read them. But I will read all these 40 years of lecture notes because the winter will be cold and very long. I'm sure for you. I will read this stuff during the winter lock time. First advice, yeah, I want to give you some advice for the young magician. First advice, don't listen so much at the advice, because most of the advice is good for other people, but it's not good for you. When I was young, they told me to work elegant and sophisticated. Channing Pollock was the king. And I didn't want to work like Channing Pollock. I wanted to work very fast. And I did a fast act, which I called the fastest magic act in the world. From this act I started, it was very difficult to start because it was in the late 60s, but I did it. And then one day I was discovered by the Olympia, and we called this act pop magic. This was completely new. And since then, I have waiting list for this act, which I call pop magic. So first advice, don't listen so much about advice. But in my long life, remember, there is, in my long life, the best advice I ever got was Johnny Thompson, the great Tom Sony. When I came to Las Vegas in the Hilton, he gave me two advice. The first advice, remember all the names. And the second advice, don't do overtime. So I could hold for nearly 1 year, even more than 1 year. And when I got my notice, when I was fired, they took me back after 3 months because I followed the rules of Tom Sony and the rules of mine, which you will hear later in the chapter, The Art of Getting Fired. And now let's talk about technique. I built an act with canes, and most of the magicians, they just buy a cane, but they cannot use it. So I put together some ideas about canes, and I built this act 40 years ago, and most of the passes I do now, everybody does it, and I'm very proud of this. So when I die and when I come back 150 years later, I want to see you on this basis. You make something personal. So I don't lose hope. You will develop more and more and more. First thing, if you get, oh, Walter Rolfo is here. Walter Rolfo, I see your name. First thing, when you get a cane, it is like this. It's metal cane. It comes in a bag. This was my last canes I got. It was 30 canes. I ordered them in Germany. They're in this bag. And when you get a cane, you take them out and you start to use them. And I will tell you something. The most important thing if you do canes, a good cane must be completely silent. Krista, give me a paper, please. Yeah. A good cane must be silent. Because if you hear a cane, this gives the idea this is something mechanic. So every new cane you get, you must work them for about 20 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, so it does not make any noise anymore. Now this cane is shit, it makes noise. So you work the cane, you clean it. This cane comes from which I have 20 years, but I didn't open the back. So you clean them inside, outside. You make them in the hand, you make them majorette, you clean them and more and more. And I don't want to do now 20 minutes cleaning the cane, but very important, a cane which makes noise is not a good cane. So that's why I make it a little more strong. And when the cane comes, this cane was completely silent. Very, very important. Producing a cane without noise. No noise. There's another version for taking out the cane. You take, Crystal, come here. Hi, young man. You can do this in close-up. There's a way to make a pair canes. You don't hear anything. Oh, you have a nice jacket. Oh, a nice jacket. Oh, what is in the jacket? Oh, here's a cane coming out. No noise. Thank you, young man. Thank you. So, no noise. Take a cane out. There's one thing. I love it so much. I will do it now 100 times. There's I invented this thing, and I will show it to you. So first cane appears. Where's the silk? Hop, here's here. And then you go with the second hand, hop, and you do double them. And I don't like this elegant move which they did in the 60s to make this. Elegant, there are two canes. Because this move gives the audience the idea you stretch the canes and the canes opens. So this is better. Here, I have another one. You can see it.
Hey, Otto.
Yeah.
Kevin James here.
Kevin James is here.
Hey, could you do us a big favor and just tip your camera down just a little bit?
A little down. Thank you.
Yeah.
Is this good?
A little, just a tiny bit more, maybe.
A tiny bit more. I do whatever you want. Oh, I'm a good pupil. We did the crazy horse together. So I have a silk. Only a silk. I turn around. This silk hop opens, and on the other side comes another cane, and no noise. Very, very important for the canes. You will see when I do my act, because after I do my act, you never know, somebody will book it maybe. When I do my act, you will see there's no cane which makes noise. The loading the second cane, I will show it to you. You take, all the maggots. You take one cane, and the people think you take a silk. You will see it in the act. Then I throw the other cane in another hand. Now I have here the silk. The silk, whop, gets the cane, and I do the double. So this is one move before you're ahead of one move, and everybody thinks you just had one silk. I will do this several times in the act with the canes, the double. Very good thing to produce a cane. I invented this. Is produced. Light me a cigarette, please.
Oh, it's a pleasure for me.
You have a banknote, let's say 20 euro. Krista will light the cigarettes, and then you light the flash paper. You burn it, hop, and there's a cane in the flash. Be careful, don't burn your hand. I did not burn the hand, but it looks like. I do the same with flash paper to the cane, to the disappearing cane. So now we come to the disappearing cane. The disappearing cane is even more difficult than the appearing cane, because this move, most of the people, they have the disappearing cane, they have two ridiculous silks. So there are many other things to put in cane, whatever, elephants, tigers, confettis, silks. You can put this in a cane. You can make a cane change, whatever. So, show that this became, there's one thing, don't do the two silks. At least if you want to do it with the silk, this very cane, then you take one silk and you do this at the beginning of your act. I don't do this anymore. I've done this gag for 20 years until it always get a good laugh. But one day in the audience, somebody said, ha, 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 ha. So I think this is out of fashion, but you can put the silk with something else. You will find something. So now we are through. I want to show you some collector. You see this cane? I open it. Wow, it makes noise, but never mind. This cane, I painted it in 1976, which is a long time ago. And, you know, I painted it color. And I was the first magician using colored canes. And when Macatendo met me the first time, he told to me, Otto, I've seen you in a TV show, you do these canes, and this gave me the idea to paint the canes. And now Macatendo did the most beautiful canes in color, in pink. The pink one was Macatendo. Yeah, so this is the old antiquity. And another thing, another cane I want to show you. I got it from Mayoral. From Mayoral. This cane, I love it so much. I never use it in the show, but maybe one day I will use. Hop, the cane is here, no noise. Look at this cane. Look at this cane. It's the same height as I. This is my darling, and one day I will use it. Levitation cane, the dancing cane. One thing is very. Kevin, I hear you.
Otto?
Yeah.
That's
No.
Yeah, hello, my friend.
Right.
I don't know because it's difficult. I've known my name. I can't write question, but what's the kind of paint you were using? Like bomb, spray paint?
It was 40 years ago. I used the painting where I make for the bathtub. You make it white, then you have to leave it dry for 1 month, and then you can use it. And in between layers, you must take 1 hour or 1 month. This was the opposite. I still have it here. I will give it to you to Mother's Day. Levitation cane, dancing cane. There are normally many misunderstandings. For me, a dancing cane should not be this small stick. It looks like a majorette, and there's one thing, one mistake that people do when they do the dancing cane. The cane must stay completely vertical. If the cane is not vertical, it kills the illusion. So this cane is vertical completely. Look, it floats now. And now Christy will catch it. She did, and it was flying in the room. Second mistake with the Levitation. Bring me the cane again. Second mistake the people do when they take the thread. I found a system where the cane is here, the thread is here. So I go with the finger and I have the thread in my hand. Because if you take a cane and you're looking for this, does not so look good. So let's do it again, a beautiful levitation. And never do this, never do this. There's no reason. Your hands are full of magical fluid. So you are directing the cane. Instead the cane will come back. She catches it. She catches it even in the Piazza di Castello in Torino. And now I will show you the act with the canes.
No, but Otto, really what you share now is so clever because I've never seen this hookup before. And can you show again? Because it's really, really clever.
But with the thread.
Yeah, of course, with the thread.
Of course. Of course. So Krista, you can already
Also, what you say about the verticality of the cane, I think makes a difference completely.
If the case goes like this,
and what is here is the music you use, because your music is so eerie, you know, kind of wobbly music, whatever.
It depends, yeah.
Yeah.
I must tell you one secret. The act is about 50 years old.
Okay.
I change, but every 15 years I change the music. So
Who
it's
is the new girl you have as an assistant?
What?
Who is the new young girl you have as an assistant right now?
This crazy horse, 1900.
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
How are you, my darling?
So finish. Your private life is not my problem.
Okay.
So the cane is here. What else you can do? You can take a microphone. Same thing with the thread. You get the thread and you do it. Floating cane with the microphone. And you have the magic power more than Mike Jagger. Well, so now we are doing, I will do the act for you. I need a picture. Yes, here we are. What you can put in the cane, silks, animals, tigers, but I have one cane. With this, as I will stop the act, I put confetti in the cane. This picture was taken in the Olympia from the best photographer in the world, Patrick Ullmann, and this was during the show. He took this picture during the show. So the secret of canes, of disappearing canes, put the maximum of things in it, not 3 confettis and they're falling down. It's calm and it snows on you. Now you will see this act, the same act. I did it for 15,000 people on the Piazza di Castello in Torino. Here's it. And today, the first time in my life, I will do the same act for one computer and for the 2 people that look at me. Krista, cigarette, please. So, this is the box. Let's put on the music.
Wow. And let's start.
So now I've long Garnier. This music is already 20 years old. Well, this was some mistakes, but anyway, you get an idea of the fastest act in the world, 1968. And now, if you have some questions, write them down, and Gaetan will read it.
Well, you know, most of the time people say you should never repeat twice the same kind of effect.
Yeah, this is.
You should never turn your back to the audience and things like that.
Later on.
And then
the rules.
The first time I saw you, you were just doing this for 10 minutes.
I mean,
grabbing canes after canes and all. Blah, 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 blah.
The 10 most idiotic rules you can give to young magicians. I have a collection of 10. Let's start with this. Never do twice the same thing. This is number 7, I think. This is bullshit. First thing to say to the young magicians, magic is not easy. When you never did trapeze act, where you did 3 flaps and whatever, magic is easy, and I can prove it. I go afternoon. When I was 16, I went in a joke shop. I bought 3 tricks, and the next day I did it in the school because we had to do something about the artistic. I did these 3 tricks which I bought before, and I got it 20 to 20. 20 sur 20. I don't know so how you say in Italy or in the other countries. Anyway, 9, advice number 9, was as stupid as the other one. Don't copy anybody. This is impossible at the beginning. And except one man did it, he never copied anybody, but he was a genius. I was Alain Bernardin from the Crazy Horse. He said, when I started doing the Crazy Horse, I didn't know anything. I didn't take any inspiration, whatever. And so I had to invent everything. But this was Bernardin, this is exception. But if you start, just copy this, and then you make it different. But at the beginning, it's impossible. To understand magic, you should know the history of magic. Well, okay, now I learned the history, but I've been 40 years in the business. Never tell them before, tell them in advance what you're doing. This is completely stupid. If there's a girl lying on the bed and you make like this, but everybody knows she will float. If you, amène-moi une pastis, s'il te plaît. Il est là. And if you coming with an empty animal cage on the stage and you put a silk on it, everybody knows the very big animal will appear. So it's another shit. Look, yeah, I heard magicians, they said that there was a discussion 20 years ago. They said, where I have to look when I'm on stage. And the other magician said, you look just where the balcony is, and here you look. So everybody will have the idea, you look at his eyes. This is not true. If you're going out in a cabaret, there are 5 people, you look at the 5 people. You're not idiot. If there are 500 people, automatically you look at the 500 people. And if you work for 15,000 people, you look around because there are so many people. So there's no rules where to look. That is pack small. Back small, play big. That's why we see so many times on stage, the magician comes out with his little trunk, takes out the sponge balls, even the thread. I've never seen so many times the threads, the small thread on big stages. Gaton does it good because it takes 10 people around, but normally a thread doesn't have to do anything on the stage. Never show 2 times the same trick. Gaton, you told it. Here I showed about 15 times the same trick. Only show a trick if you can do it perfect. This is not possible for especially for a beginner, because you rehearse and then you want to show it to somebody. And there's one rule: one rehearsal in front of the audience is 10 rehearsals at home in front of the mirror. They are not bad tricks, they are only bad magicians. So I made a list for the 10 worst magic tricks. I think even Copperfield couldn't do anything with it. So they're very bad tricks. Forget them. The balloon does not burst. The needle comes through, doesn't burst. Oh, the wallet in fire. The underwear between the silks. The fountain of silks. Oh, the linking, not the linking rings, the linking ropes. I've seen them so many times. Ropes, the linking ropes. Oh, there's a knot on it. It's terrible. The transloop cube is the zigzag with only 2 things. The tube Raymond is a tube. You put the paper and then I cover the silk out forever. And they gave me the advice to do it very slowly. Terrible. Forget these tricks. And the winner is, what is the winner for the worst tricks? It is the canes and the razor blades. The winner of the 10 advice is a magician, is an actor playing the part of a magician, Jean-Eugène Houdin. Listen, if you're an actor, you would play, you would be in a film, you make Titanic, you're in a theater, you make Hamlet. But if you're a magician, you are a magician. You can be a magician, play in different situations. But I've never seen make actor the Copperfield, idol Copperfield. He acts in the situation, but he does not act. No? So Franco Dragone, who did all the shows in Las Vegas, but once I was in his show, and he said to me, Otto, if you act already badly. So don't think you act, just do your thing. Voilà, that was it. The art of getting fired, the second part now, very important. If you follow this, you will stay in show business for the next 50 years.
Otto,
Yes.
I don't completely agree with all that, but it's very interesting to.
This is my opinion.
Listen to you always. So, in fact, in your 10 worst magic tricks, you end with the canes and the blades. So, and you make huge success doing that.
Yeah,
so
it was a joke. The canes and the razor blades are very good tricks. I did a joke because I got quite famous in the business for the canes and for the razor blades. So it was a joke.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, now I'm with you.
So now really.
Yeah, but it's a good thing, because another thing will be to think, maybe it takes a very bad trick kind of and make a huge success, and then everybody will think, wow, that's the way to do it.
Well, I never saw somebody a really huge success with the pom-poms or with the balloon, with the needle. Come on. They are bad and good tricks. Canes is a very good trick, and the razor blades too. So, mode d'emploi, the advice, if you get fired or somebody doesn't give you a contract to come back, you should take this as good news, because you are fired. And the most orgastic is when you get fired and they say you can leave immediately. But this luck didn't happen to me so often. So the last day, you make a little fiesta, so we will never forget you. You buy some things for everybody. You make a fiesta. Don't forget the drugs, and everybody will be happy. cabaret. I did this in the Paradis Latin. Next, you continue are going to this place where they fired you, but you're coming as a customer. You were sitting in the audience, they serve you champagne. Most of the time, they don't let you pay, but if they let you pay, you give them the money. So they will remember you, but never a bad word. The last day, a good joke. And this good joke is not so easy to find. Once I got fired from the Scala in Madrid. They hated my act and I hated them. But the last day, I went down for the finale. You walk stairs down, and I walked down with Krista, and we had all our trunks. We had normal costumes, and we did not go back in the dressing room. We went out straight in front of the door with all our trunks. We put it in the car and we left. 20 years later, I've seen one of the dancers, and he told me this was the most funny thing I've ever seen since 20 years. So they will never forget it. And don't forget it, they will call you back. If they say to you, never we will book you again, then you say, I take your words. And nobody could hold it long time. Crazy Horse one time, 8 years, Tiger Palace in Germany. 18 years is the winner, and the Wintergarten in Berlin, 12 years, but they called me back. And then one thing to say, but never, if you meet your ex-boss in some meeting, in some bartous, in some sex shop or whatever, you talk about anything, you're friendly, but never say, whenever you take me back. This thing brings bad luck. Never say it, because if they want you, they call you back. But don't say whenever you take me back. If they took you back, if they took you back, then you start like you never left. And there's a cultus minister in France. Is called Jacques Lang, and Jacques Lang was cultus minister. He got fired 2 times. He came 2 times, he came back. Then he was again cultus minister, and again minister de la culture. So he came back as he never left. Good lesson. And one thing, when the Hilton in Las Vegas, when they told me, Otto, in 3 months is your last day because this and this and this. Next day, I went to Variety. This is the biggest newspaper for show business. It's called Variety, and they put a $2,000 publicity. I put it in. I have it here. It's written, "Thank you, Las Vegas Hilton, for making me the funniest act in Las Vegas. Your friend and faithful performer, Otto Wessely." Came out 2 days later. The boss smiled at me. He never said, we've seen your advertising. But the result was, when I had my last week, he asked me to stay. Voila. So this was the art of getting fired. Now, do you still have time? How much time I have? Oh, is there anyone out here?
Yeah.
Yeah. What time is it?
I cannot, yeah, I don't know how long time you have.
Well, I have 1 hour.
You have something on your glass.
Oh, we have 20 minutes more to go. Maybe I forgot something.
Otto,
Yes.
remove your glasses and blow. You have something white on them.
Oh.
Side. Yeah.
Is it better?
Not so much, but yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
So now, for the end, I show you.
No, it's on. Yeah. Okay. Now we're okay.
On stage, I never wear glasses, so the people can see my eyes when I look everybody in his eyes, especially 15,000 people. I will show you now a sequel of comic magic. It's called The Poetry of Animals. And as already Topas told it this morning, he said, he said, you work better in an equipe. So for this sequence, so I put it here. Now we put it a little down. We put it down. For this sequence, I had the help of 8 magicians. There's no one idea I came up with. Very well. Okay. Where is it? Where is it? The poetry of animals. That's number 2, number 3, number 4. Oh, I did so many pages. Number 5. Yes. So the magicians, they helped me with this. They found solutions. Is Claude Haribo. Claude Haribo from the French Magic Club. Rudy Kobe. Everybody knows Rudy Kobe. He gave me another idea. James Dimer gave me another idea. Siegfried Roy gave me one idea. Cyril, this was a stagehand from the Crazy Horse, gave me another idea. Then one dresser girl from the Circus Roncalli, she gave me another idea. And then Jocelyn Haas is a friend of mine, a magician, he gave me another idea. And the last idea came from Hugues Brotin. So now you will see the animals. How you open this? Krista, how this open? Where's the other record?
It's open.
It's open, yeah. No, it is, there was another record here.
So unten bei den.
Here it is. So you can go, in the meantime, you can go for smoke a cigarette and put on the music.
I can make a strip.
Krista can make a strip, yeah, be so kind. Reading, yeah. What? So now we start. Music is here. The poetry of animals. And after I will explain you who invented what. Krista, bring the table here. She was a songwriter before. Poetry of animals. Allez! Hop! You see this? When it is on the floor, it's very unhappy, like dying. Oh! And don't do it on computer. Oh, nasty, right? Floating rabbit. Stop the music. So this was the poetry of animals. And it started, and then I wanted to do a rabbit floating. So I was thinking about Asra, about all these possibilities. And then I had a friend. There's the rabbit. Oh, it's still here. Oh, the rabbit is still here. And a friend made this rabbit for me. Krista, my wife, she did the rabbit. And in this rabbit, something comes out and the rabbit stays in the air. Okay. So this was Haribo. Krista, take your darling.
Pleasure.
And you shut up.
But yes, you can.
I forgot something. When the rabbit is, here's the rabbit here who pissed in the audience. I pissed on the rabbit. So I forgot this because Rotter gave me the idea. So, rabbit, yeah. So a friend, it's called Aribo, he did me this rabbit. Then I wanted to make it disappear. So I thought I will make an astra, it floats, I make the silk and the rabbit disappears. So I asked the magicians and I talked with Rudy Kobe. And Rudy Kobe told me, listen, why I don't take the killer hand? So I took the killer hand and it was the same effect. The rabbit disappeared under the silk. But what he told me, I always wanted to go in the hand. He told me this is not necessary. You have the killer hand, you go over the hand, and then you do whatever you want. But when the rabbit disappears, the silk with the stick is still here. So I was thinking, what can I do? What can I do? And then came up James Demare. And James Demare said to me, listen, you can make it disappear. How? With a cane. You're the king of canes. Of course. I'm so stupid. So I put in the cane hand, I put a very strong cane. Voilà, here it is. I show you even the preparation. If somebody wants to do the act, there's no problem. I have already somebody who does it, but he pays me only 20%, not so much. So yeah, this stick goes in the hand. So here you are. So when I cover the rabbit, the second hand takes the rabbit. Ooh, here's the second hand. Takes the rabbit. Then the rabbit floats, and then the disappearing cane makes disappear everything. Right? And when this rabbit pisses in the audience, I got it from a dresser girl. She made me a rabbit, and this rabbit was too small to go in the sleeve. So she told me, I take it back. This was in the circus. I said, no, don't take it back. I bought for $3. I bought zinc, I put water in it, and then it comes out. And in the circus, you piss in the audience, there's nothing more funny. But in the show was Brotter, and he did just 5 minutes before I did a rabbit in the face of the audience. He did a real rabbit, and the real rabbit was pissing. So I was pissed off, and he was standing in the wings. And I said, you are so nasty. I will revenge me. And I went to him and I pissed in his face in the wings. But normally I piss on the rabbit. It's very, very funny. It isn't funny like this, but it's very funny. So that was it. This was the poetry of animals. Thank you. It's part of the comic act. Eitan, you're still here? So can I go? Is school finished? Now I want to answer you all the questions you need. Somebody here? Kevin, where are you?
Yeah, I'm here, Otto.
Yeah, we worked in the Crazy Horse. You still remember, not the pissing rabbits?
Yeah. One of my favorite bits was Otto, take off your glove.
Take off my glove.
You remember that? You remember that one?
You remember?
Oh, it was great.
I have it in my backyard standing. Yeah, but you come out with normal hands, and you take off your glove, and under the glove is another hand. So the hand was a glove. It's not so funny if you tell it, but it's funny. So now the second part, we talk about comic. What is important for comic? You cannot do just some idiotic tricks. You must write a script. There was Sibel, a man in France, and he said, il n'y a pas de comique sans écriture. Which means if you cannot write something, then there's no comics anymore. The last comic in France was Louis de Funès. He was just interpreter, but he was so good, he was a genius. But normally, all the comics which come out, they write something, they have a script, and for a comic act, it's very important, this script. So when we built this act together, we were writing the script before. The script, this went on for 2 weeks, and a whole box of wine. And then we had the act, and then we built the props. I have an act at the table, I guess there are beers under the table, and many things. And it's called the World Master of Elegance. So when we had all the props, we did the act first time in Milano. In Milano c'è Papa Felice, Rolfo. Conosci? No, he's gone already. He's gone already in the girl's place. Okay, so I did it in the Astoria. First day, act went on for 25 minutes. And he did not book me, but there's no problem. Then we went to another club, and the act was 18 minutes, and then was 17 minutes. Every day it was a little shorter, and at the end the act went on for 10, 15 minutes, and we put on at least the double of gags in between. So it was just too slow, but the script was nearly the same. We did it much faster with much gags inside. And one day I came in Paris in a cabaret, and I did this act. It was already okay. And then for 12 minutes, and Gaetan came to see it. Gaetan, you remember? And you came and said, "Listen, you cannot do it now because I had a makeup like in the 20s, the hairs were like this." And he said, "It would be beautiful, but you cannot do it now. But one day you will do it without special makeup, without the hair behind, and it will be as funny as it is." And Gaetan was right. And the second day he said, the second time he said, Gaetan, you remember? It was in the Embassy Club.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he said to me, "You don't have fun with your props. You must having fun with them." And then after years and years, I had fun, and then I didn't do the act for 2 years, and then it became better, and now it's quite funny. Voila, this is the history of the comedy.
Somebody is asking, what's your favorite comedy act, magic act?
My
Beside you.
huh?
What's your favorite comedy act?
In magic.
In magic, apparently he's saying magic, yes.
Yours, of course. What
No,
else?
no.
What else? I have seen it at least 150 times.
Oh yeah, it doesn't mean we were working together, so it doesn't mean it's a no. But have you a hero in comedy?
Topper Martin. Yeah, I've seen Topper Martin in 1970 in the FISM in Amsterdam, and I thought, never I will have this. He got standing ovations. The people didn't let him off the stage, and I think Topper Martin. He was crazy, good, nice, fast. For me, I think he's still the best comic magician, but he died now. But Topper Martin, he did some very quite good things. Everything he did, it was good. And
okay, Otto, I see that you have 10 minutes left.
I have 10 minutes left?
Yeah, not in your life, just on this show.
So let's have a drink together and ask me something. I will show you everything. Here's the pastis, s'il te plaît.
Hey, Otto, I've got a
So this is the French Aperol.
Hey, Otto.
Yes.
How did you come up with the idea for doing the razor blades your way?
This is a very good idea. A very good question. When I was 18, I worked in the amusement park because I was chemist, but you couldn't live without a normal salary. So all the weekend I went in the amusement park and we did 5 or 6 shows a day. And there was a magician coming. His name was Lechner. And he said to me, "Listen, your act is terrible. Everything is bad. But I will give you one good trick, and he taught me the razor blades. And he said to me, listen, with the maximum you do is with 40 razor blades. So I started with 10, 20, 30, and then I did 40 razor blades. And this was already a very good thing. Then I moved over from Vienna to Paris, and I did the act. And then I was in Austrian TV with the razor blades. And at this time, I put in my mouth 130 razor blades. Not eating, but what was coming out. And he gave me the biggest compliment. He phoned me next day after the show, and he said to me, how you do this? Give me your system. You reload them. And I said, no, it's still your system, but maybe I'm a better comedian than you are. We became good friends. Yes, we're still good friends, but now he's gone. Lechner, Albert, thank you. And then he booked me in the other amusement park, because he was the owner of a how you say, Schaubude, where the sideshow is going. And there it is, we had a beautiful dancer, and this dancer is here. And I took the taxi from the station, and I said, is there anybody who can lend me 100 shilling, which is about 20 euro? I didn't have any money anymore. And she said, here are your 100 shilling. And she never got it back. And the dancer was Christa.
Okay.
Okay, something.
Otto, there is I have one personal question, but
Yeah.
before Bernardo asked how you keep your cane. Do you put some oil or something?
Very important. I forgot to tell it
Yeah.
to the humanity.
No, it's not this.
There's some oil,
Where is the
but
oil?
but I clean them only once every 3 years.
Where's the oil?
And I keep them always closed. The people say it will lose the force, which is not true. I have some canes with this one. If I take it out, I bought it in 1998. If I take it out, it's as strong as it ever was. And all my canes, I keep them closed. Well, I keep them closed, and sometimes, if I'm in Brazil, they're getting rusty, and then you put the oil on it, maybe in the box, no? But here's the oil here.
Is this?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the oil, you put it on pistol, whatever. Where's the camera? Ah, here's it, okay. This oil, and then, but to clean the cane, I take all the oil away once
The
every.
good way. The good way.
The good way. I clean it, then I close it, and every cane for every trick I use always the same cane. So not this cane for this trick and then tomorrow for another trick. It's like in the circus. Every animal makes his own trick. So this cane is the cane which I load and which comes out here. This is one cane for Macadendo. The Macadendo canes, they're never rust, but he did for me the closing. Yes, so here's the closing. Here's the cigarette, and he did for me the closing, the German system, because the Chinese, the Japanese canes, you do like this, and there's a spring, and then the cane is free. But for me, it's too delicate. I push it, and up, the cane is here. And then I'm very kind to my canes, very, very kind to my fellow performers, very kind to my wife, as everybody knows.
Well, another question. Where today you can buy a good apparent cane? Has to be made of metal or what?
Best metal. The plastic canes, not possible to make it. There is only one person who makes them good. Is what's the Argentinian? The No. Is what's the name? Who makes canes on plastic? Was very and a very good Argentinian. Fantasio. I've seen him with the canes, and he was wonderful. Color changing canes, everything very, very soft. But I cannot use them. And I have seen many magicians using the Fantasio canes, but it was not good. It looked like sausages. But he did it good. But then he became a millionaire selling these canes. So if you get me now a good address where can I find metal canes, we will become very rich, because there's no anymore in Europe where you can get it.
Now, I think we have 5 minutes left. So my personal question is that I think you have a big secret behind you and always beside you, and it's Krista. So how did you meet, and how you keep going like that, being so crazy both together?
Well, I will tell it to you. We worked together. We went through many problems, and that's why we hold together. We were poor. We became rich. We became again poor when I was on drugs. You remember? Because you threw me out. And maybe for the end, I could give you my receipts for drugs, the gastronomic guide for drugs. Alcohol, THC, cocaine, sugar, worst, crack, crystal meth, heroin, nicotine, MDMA, the best, ecstasy, dopamine, and co. So which drug you want me to tell you about? I know them all. Alcohol, in my opinion, is the worst. First, it's legal. Second, you find it in good quality everywhere. You know Gaetan, yeah? Yeah. So alcohol is the worst. You get very easy addicted, and it's very, very difficult, to come off from alcohol. And your behavior, you're like this, you're stupid, you become aggressive. And so I don't, maybe one glass of champagne, but I don't, even if it's legal, I don't suggest drinking alcohol. Next is THC. It's the shit. You smoke the shit. For me, it's one of the worst. It's in many countries it's legal now, but it's the worst, because you become lazy, and you become paranoia. So I think it's not good. Cocaine is already better. It's very chic. You take your cocaine, and after 5 minutes, you feel good, and you talk, and you became very spiritual. Maybe I should take a line now, so I could talk about drugs for the next 45 minutes. But the cocaine is not so bad. It's not so bad, but of course it's not legal. And if you come down from cocaine, it's terrible. So you take another line, you get another line, and then you become addicted.
What Krista is doing behind?
Krista is cleaning the house. We're waiting for some people.
I think she is your best work together.
Sugar is very addictive. All this diabetes and whatever comes from sugar. Don't eat too much sugar, fast sugars or slow sugars. Be very careful with sugar. And sometimes you're depressed. You eat sugar, you can eat the chocolate, is a little more, but don't eat sugar. Then what? Crack is the coke. The coke, you can smoke it. There's some chemical change with coke, and it holds only for 24 hours. And you put it in a cigarette and you smoke it. It's like coke, but 10 times more. Very dangerous, very dangerous. I wouldn't call it crystal meth. If you have seen the series Breaking Bad, he was making crystal meth. Crystal meth is so strong. Sometimes after one time you get addicted, and the people think all about crystal meth. Very, very not good. Heroin at the beginning can be very good. I never had a shot, but you drink it during the nose. You don't want to go out anymore. You are happy with yourself, and you think whatever you think is as strong as the reality. So it's it's nice at the beginning, but very addictive, and it's illegal, of course. Nicotine is with alcohol is legal. Is one of the worst you can take. All these stupid people smoke cigarettes, and this is legal. I cannot understand why it didn't become illegal. Then methylene dioxide, methamphetamine, ecstasy. You have seen me so many times, Gaeton, with ecstasy, but I was never aggressive. I was always nice, and I felt very good. You remember? You remember them? And the last is very addictive. It's dopamine and serotonin. This is the thing which plays in your brain when you fall in love. And it's very addictive, very dangerous. Some people suicide because they fall in love and it's finished. So, but it's legal. It's legal, and I think it's too good. It's too good for the people. Best is falling in love. This is some drugs. This makes in your brain. You get a little blind.
That's what happened so many years ago with you and Krista.
How many years?
No, that's what happened.
What?
This last new product on the market when you met Krista. You never.
This was in 1968 we met.
Yeah. Okay.
Then I went to Paris. Then Krista came back after 6 months. Then we went together on tournée. Then we did an act together, and then
yeah, whatever.
we moved out from the hotel. We moved in a small apartment. Then we couldn't pay apartment. Then we
So,
apartment.
what, 2 minutes left.
We made a child.
2 minutes left.
2 minutes left. So
You're thinking, what's your next thought about any kind of new act or new whatever? What's in your life now? What you want to?
Well, first I want to come over the lockdown, of course. Then last time we had the lockdown in Paris for 3 months. I said I will learn close-up. I will learn Italian. I will build a new act. I will write a new show, and I will save the world. And then, very important, I will learn the double lift. I did not do nothing from this. I was just lazy home. So then we could go out. We had some amusement. We went to Deauville. And now, if the lockdown comes again, maybe I will learn the double lift. What do you think?
I think it's a pretty wise idea.
or building a new act which longer than an act, but not so long as a show, but who knows? It's called les réalités parallèles, parallel realities, which means you see the world, the reality under different things. If you take some heroin, you see the world completely different. If you take the MDMA, there are other priorities. So maybe to do a show, and you can help me. You're so creative to see the world under different angles, and then maybe we come to the théorie de la relativité and something with la mécanique quantique. I think maybe putting a magic show together where you see what happens the other side of the curtain. Must be wonderful. There's no frontier in magic. So maybe we do another show together. What do you think?
I will love that.
You will love it, yeah.
Yes.
What else can I tell you? Where are you? Are you home?
I'm home, as you.
You're home. Tell me something about your private life. You have 2 children, no?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
One from Rafa? No.
No.
No,
Well,
Stefan.
I don't think this interests many people now.
Well,
No, Gaetan, it could be very interesting for us. But next lecture. Thank you very much. Otto, you are so amazing. I read that someone said, yes, I know the rest of Milan, but I can't, I didn't have the mic open. And it's true. I think that this was one of the best lecture ever. Thank you for the lesson about dopamine and serotonin. I believe in love too. And
Since
and
you feel in love with me, you feel the dopamine, no, in your brain.
thank you for the T-shirt. Amazing T-shirt, Otto.
Oh,
Very beautiful T-shirt.
Oh, I found it in some garage sale.
Yes, it's the best place. Yeah.
We still have 2 other ones.
Yes, I can send you whenever you want. And first of all, I want to thank you to Gaetan Bloom. Thank you very much, Gaetan. It was perfect and amazing to have you both together. And thank you for your help.
Kevin was there.
And thank you, grazie. And Otto, Priska, thank you very much. Without you, nothing has value. So thank you. Otto, you are amazing. I told you everything that I see you, and I hug you too. So unfortunately, I can't hug you now because I'm far distant, but I will hug you more and more whenever we can see together again. Grazie.
Santi.
Eccomi qua. Grazie, grazie, grazie. See you very soon. I hope to see you in Italy as soon as possible.
Yes.
Sorry. Okay. Thank you, Otto.